Is it week 9? Yes. Do we now collectively get a 10 in Tim Tebow? Also, yes, joining us from Tuscaloosa. Tim, easy to put LSU out of mind after losing that opener to USC, but since then they have not lost, and Garrett Nussmeier is a big reason why. What have you seen from him during this winning streak?
Well, I think in the last few weeks, he's been playing as good as anybody at the quarterback position. I love the way that he's able to distribute the football, and it doesn't matter who you are. He's getting it to you because he's making quick, good decisions, whether that's getting it to receivers, tight ends, backs, understanding what the defense has given him. I loved it last week. Arkansas started out playing soft, and he went right after him with the quick game. But then I loved it when he had the opportunities when they were more aggressive, his touch. Watch him buy a little time, separate himself from the defense. He knows he has a free rusher, but watch the touch over the top. This is like a handoff. And my man still drops it. It's okay. They come right back for another tutty later in the game. Look how he adapts his arm angle under pressure. This is so hard, and he makes it look easy, and he does it over and over again. Adapts the arm angle, gets it a little bit sidearm. Receiver drops it. It's okay. This dude is playing at such a high level that I love watching him play, and he's also got to play really well tonight against the 12th man.
Sure, a big reason why those Tigers are still undefeated right now in SEC play, and some people are starting to say Nussmeier might introduce himself into that Heisman conversation. You know a thing or two about that. The opposite of winning streak is what Alabama's going through right now. The Tide slide has seen them lose 2 of 3. They get now Missouri. Are you out, Tim, on this iteration of the Tide being a playoff team?
No, I'm not out. Listen, I think if they run the table, I still think Alabama is in the college football playoff. I think they have one of the best wins in the country against Georgia. I think they're a team when they play at a high level, when they play close to their ceiling, they're one of the best teams in the country. The problem is they're not always playing at that level. They haven't been consistent. They haven't been showing up for 3 hours on a Saturday where their defense shows up, their offense shows up, and their special teams. When they do, when they get that right, this team still has such a chance to be special. You've seen it for quarters. You've seen it for halves. You saw it for the first half against Georgia when Jalen Miller or Ryan Williams are on the same page, when Jam Miller is on the same page, when their defense steps up. Last week against Tennessee, their defense actually stepped up and played so much better. Their offense didn't really show up. But when both sides show up, this team is still very scary.
The Tide with 2 losses. You can get into this expanded playoff field with 2 losses. You're probably not getting in with 3. More Tim ahead, 10 a.m. Eastern, SEC Nation.
Great to have you back, man. I'm so grateful they let you back from PTO. It's wonderful.
Tim, I heard you didn't even miss me. That's what you said in commercial break.
I'd say these ranked matchups are so important at this point in the season, thanks to the new CFP format. Just 12 teams making the playoff. The 5 highest-ranked conference champions receive automatic bids, followed by the 7 highest-ranked teams overall. Also, the first college football playoff rankings of the season will be revealed on November 5th. That's a little more than a week away.
And one of those teams might reside in Bloomington. I win, Google me. Okay, we did. And the Hoosiers still undefeated. That's why the game day bus is pulling up for a homecoming of sorts for Lee Corso, the head Hoosier from 73 to 82. A home game, too, for Pat Mack, who calls the Hoosiers stay home. Kyle Schwarber on the desk as guest picker after playing his college ball in Bloomington. The Hoosiers, they love to go fast, Daytona-like. Like the Daytona that sits on our MVP's wrist in one Desmond Howard. The crowd is absurd. They are ready to rock. Des, fantastic to see you. It's the first Saturday trip for the game day bus. Please set the scene for us, Des.
Oh, I tell you what, we have a pretty excited crowd here for the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. The first big trip of the year for game day up here in Bloomington, Indiana. Man, we're so excited to be here. I can't tell you. And of course, you know, we're going to honor the one, the only, our coach, Lee Corso, today, too.
Man, I can't wait. It's going to be 3 hours of heaping praise, and deservedly so, on Coach. Time for the MVP, Des. And since we've not been there on a Saturday, let's give the folks a reminder. M, the matchup to watch. V, the vulnerable team. And P, the player to keep an eye on. Des, run it.
Yes, sir. So listen, M, the matchup. I'm talking about ABC, 7:30 Eastern Time. Number 8 LSU versus number 14 Texas A&M. I don't know why they booing. They're not even in your conference. Neither team has a conference loss. Garrett Nussmeier his main target with 6 touchdowns. And Connor Wigman, back from a shoulder injury, has played in 2 games, both W's. Nick scored number 11 on defense for A&M. Probably one of the most disruptive defensive players in all of college football. Check it out, 7:30 tonight, ABC. The vulnerable team, now hang with me, SMU favored by 11.5 on the road against defensive-minded Manny Diaz and Duke. Now, I'm not saying that SMU is going to lose this game, but Duke can make things very interesting and keep this game really close. Duke come up with a huge emotional win last Friday night versus Florida State. Keep an eye on that. SMU might be vulnerable. But the player, have you guys heard of Justice Ellison, the running back for Indiana? Oh my God, 5'10", 210 pounds. This man's played 43 games already. Listen, he has really quick feet, great vision, excellent acceleration. And last but not least, he's just hard as hell to bring down to the ground. Watch this move on a safety. Turned the man all the way around, made him do a 360. Check out Justice Ellison, the running back for Indiana. They got a hell of a 1-2 punch with him and Tyson Lawton, but check them out today when they take on Washington.
Listen, it's the reason, big part, that the Hoosiers are scoring infinity points this season. Des, before I let you go, I'm taking a big risk out here because we're in Bristol, but I need to see if the Rowdies are paying attention out there in Bloomington. So, Hoosiers? Hoosiers?
I think you got their attention.
Let's go! They're locked in. Game day, 9 a.m. Eastern. Ben's fantastic to see you. Can't wait to go back.
Thank you.
The sun is up in the great state of Indiana. Bloomington, good morning. You've been lined up since last night. You've been waiting for the entire history of this legendary show to have College Game Day on campus on a Saturday morning, and here we are. The Hoosiers are 7-0. For the first time since the Lyndon Johnson administration, they host a Washington team that's been in the Big Ten for about 20 minutes. And you know the crowd is ready. And you know in the heart of Big Ten country, Ben is there as well.
Go!
The first pup of college football. The man, the myth, the mayor.
That's awesome.
Look at him walking around. He looks so regal. So much wisdom.
I want to hug Ben.
There's so much wisdom in his eyes. Kirk Herbstreit is there as well. And there's a familial tie for Coach Corso.
I'm here as well. It's perfectly said. I'm here as well.
I love that
That's
we're
my new
there.
life. I'm here as well. Yeah, I'm Ben's handler. I'm here to report as Ben's handler.
All right. So the Fighting Herbstreits are there, the two of them, Ben and Kirk. It's great that you guys are there on this sort of Coach Corso reunion tour. I mean, he was the coach there from 73 to 82. The vibes are immaculate, but what does it mean to be there with Coach Corso, where he coached for so long?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've been around him for so long, and it's great to see these fans here that are fired up about their squad this year. They have a lot to be celebrating. But yeah, Lee Corso coming back. He had a great reception last night with a lot of former players and assistant coaches, and I know it was very emotional for him. You know, he doesn't get back here very often, so he had 10 years here. You know, he coached in the Big Ten when it was the Big Two with Bo and Woody and the Little Eight, and it was hard to win games in that era, and he did a heck of a job lasting 10 years. But yeah, it's been cool, and we're obviously going to have a lot of fun throughout the show with Kurt Signetti, who's going to be on the show, and talking about this team, but also celebrating what Lee's time here meant as well.
I got Coach Corso down for a 1979 Holiday Bowl win, and I got him down for 2 wins over the University of Washington. They're going for another one today. If they're going to do it, if they're going to do it, it's going to be without Curtis Rourke. I want to talk about the Hoosier defense, or at least I want you to, Kirk. Are they capable of carrying the mail maybe as Taven Jackson gets his legs underneath him?
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Taven Jackson is he's played a lot of football, right? You have to remember it's a new system, but he's played a lot of ball, and I think he showed last week what he's capable of doing. Great runner, by the way, but it'll be fun to see how they attack with him. But I'm glad you brought up the Indiana defense, because so much is being made about their ability to score and how balanced they are. They're the #1 rush defense in the Big Ten. I mean, think about that. They stop the run, they get you into obvious passing situations, and then they crank up the pressure. So Washington, who for the most part is a one-dimensional attack, they really are going to try to have to run the ball, but Will Rogers is a kid from Mississippi State who's very talented, very experienced. He played there for 4 years in this era of the transfer portal. He left to go out to play for Jed Fish. He can spin it. So I think for Indiana, it's going to be about applying pressure and trying to slow down that passing game and how explosive it can be for the Dogs.
We are not trying to initiate boos behind you, but that other school in Indiana, Notre Dame, has to test against Navy today. The defensive coordinator, I know. Hey,
what are you doing?
I'll take him. I'll take the blame for this. If you're Al Golden, if you're the DC there at Notre Dame, what do you have to worry about with Navy today in this sling T offense that they're running?
Well, it's not the old school Navy, where it's just triple option football. Same with Army, but this Navy team, and we're going to have Blake Horvath, by the way, who's been one of the great stories this year, the quarterback at Navy. He's going to be on College GameDay live, so we're excited to have him, to talk to him. But you just mentioned this system. He's third in the nation in passing efficiency. Gives you an idea of what kind of year he's having, but you also have to worry about this. So Al Golden, who I know very well, I'm sure he hasn't slept very well this week because of trying to come up with ways to slow down Blake Horvath and these different formations, personnel groupings, and really the eye discipline is challenged when you get ready for Navy because you get so caught up in the movement and everything going in front of you. Guys are able to sneak behind you. So Notre Dame will be challenged in a big way. And as we all know, when you play Navy and it's Notre Dame, it's not just about the talent on the field. It's about execution and discipline. And can you match that? Because Navy, this team's for real.
Yeah, it's assignment football to be sure. I want to point out these two games going on at the same time could be 2 wins for the folks there in Bloomington. Indiana wins and maybe Notre Dame loses. We'll see if it happens. We'll see if it happens. Let's go.
You got it, man.
Get him out on some cheers. It's going to be
Ben's up on the set now, which is a rare occurrence.
Let's see him.
Here he's down here.
He goes where he wants. Where's Ben at? Oh, buddy.
Yes.
There he is. There he is.
Attaboy, Ben. John Wiley, the legend, is there as well. All right, game day coming your way. Top of the hour with Wiley and Ben and also Kirk. And Kirk is there too. All right, appreciate you, buddy.